Home Life. It's Home Plus Life Podcast.
Not going to be caught out this time.
Oh, well, you know what? My little arm thingy is just completely decided that it was going to just droop.
I like how you've got wine tucked into the corner of the couch there as you're working all that out.
I've got it tucked underneath my leg.
I know, I saw
I've
that.
got thighs big enough to look after it.
Well, hey, there's no argument from me. Let's quickly change the subject before I say something that gets me into trouble as a male.
No, I want to see this plane crash happen.
How much wine have you had?
About this much. Well, I know there's probably a lot of people going, she's drinking out of a plastic cup.
Well, we have learned after many, many years that we don't let you drink out of glasses.
Whatever.
15 seconds later, he said the thing.
No, I just look at it and go, I'm the least that should be worried about smashing glass. Normally it's you that breaks stuff.
I haven't smashed a single glass.
Neither
Not
have
in
I.
this house or the previous one. You have. You broke a wine glass.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have...
Had nothing to do with drinking. You were completely sober at the time. You were just washing it in the sink. But still, if we're tallying up who's broken more glasses, you're ahead. This has nothing to do with the topic of the podcast.
I don't even know really what we're talking about with the topic today.
I think we're talking about how to choose your agent.
Right.
In 2024, because obviously there's a lot of technology that's come into play, and there's a lot of changes, a lot of cool stuff that's happened, and obviously that influences how you choose your agent.
Yeah.
The
one thing that I, especially since I do look after social media, like content creation and guiding people, both real estate agents as well as small business. The one thing that, and we do it for small business, the amount of times it happens for small business that I don't understand why people don't do it with real estate agents as well. And why real estate agents, and trust me, I know this firsthand, seem to pass over the whole really making sure that A, your details are up to date.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
B, it's really easy to actually contact you.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people who won't go and do Google searches. They'll actually search on Facebook.
Oh, there are a lot of people who will search on just about any platform.
Yeah. So, but if they go and do a search and they find your page, and the last time that you had updated your page with a post was 6 months ago.
They're not even sure if you're still in the business.
That's right. So, and they're like, just because you've got your photo up on a bus stop doesn't mean that was changed in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
How do we even, just because you're on a website, even just because you're on a website doesn't mean that you're actually, the reason why I say on a website is the amount of times that I had, because I went and did actual analysis of information that you had been able to get.
Yep.
And I went and did, I went and searched the information.
You went and evaluated the digital footprint of agents.
And, oh my God.
Yeah.
But the information that you got, it was like, oh, yeah, this is top shelf, like this has been filtered, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we built it. We built it by hand.
Go and have a look.
It was recent and relevant.
Realestate.com. Go and have a look. And do you know what? I was going and having a look at realestate.com. I was going and having a look at Domain. I then was comparing it to what I could actually find. And there was stuff that was actually being shown up on those websites with the information you had provided me, which was not relevant. That person
was
no
not
longer.
accurate. Yeah. No. And
so that's the reason.
But I mean, changes happen all the time too, right? Like you'll build a database or whatever, and you'll evaluate, and then by the time it's gone through its analysis and evaluation stage, it's been handed to you. People have changed offices, and
this isn't just changing offices. This is that they had, like on realestate.com, you know how they bring up to say, oh, the last time that this person sold
Yeah.
at all,
Yeah.
right, was, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
And I mean, that's...
was 6 months ago. And you're like, yep, that's great.
Yeah.
But then you go and have a look and do a Google search. There is nothing. There isn't even crickets.
Yeah.
Right? But then you go and have a look at the Facebook page and you're like, hold on. How can you say that your marketing is really, really great if it's this hard to try and find information about you, or that it's not consistent?
Oh, I love that. It's one of my 3 horsemen of the real estate apocalypse, right? Because every agent walks into a listing presentation or appraisal.
They're all the bee's knees.
And they say, there's one of 3 things. And it's, I'm the best at marketing, I'm the best negotiator, or I've got all the buyers.
Yeah, but the thing is that if you can be fantastic at marketing, but if you aren't putting the stuff up, it's the equivalent of going, I am the number 1 seller of dresses, right? But then turning around going, oh no, I don't have any dresses in my shop.
But I mean, every agent claims they're number 1, right? Like one of the industry secrets, I guess, like Rate My Agent, a one organization who they take on reviews for agents, and they then over the course of 12 months, they'll start tallying things up and everything like that, and they'll start awarding, awards. And agents will be the number 1 agent in this postcode or this suburb or whatever. Are they the same
website that the agent actually has to pay for their award?
They definitely have to be paid to be featured when you go and search on that website, and to be up the top. If you heard it,
that was me throwing him underneath the bus.
Yeah, but I mean, every agent has won some sort of award. I get it, and look, I happen to know, or have spent time in the States actually with the founder of Rate My Agent. We had an interesting conversation in New York once. But it's not even about Rate My Agent per se. The reason I've pulled them up is every agent has an award that says they're number 1. Doesn't matter if it's a Rate My Agent Suburb Award, an REA Award, a brand award. Christ, awards were so gaining so much momentum and traction, and it was very clear where the direction of the industry was going, that back in 2010, I created the awards for our brand, which had all of maybe 5 offices around the country, and then magically I won Rookie of the Year, right? Because, and by any measure, it was legitimate. As a rookie, I had sold the most property in that year for the brand.
Were you the only rookie?
Yes. Doesn't matter, I was still Rookie of the Year, right? And this is my point.
I'm sorry. That is really sad. That's like high-fiving yourself. When
100%
you're playing,
it is.
When you're playing against yourself at table tennis.
100% it is. But my point is that the general public...
But I got Rookie of the Year.
But the general public don't know this.
I'm pretty sure they're aware.
They're aware that every agent gets awards, but they don't know the voting in the system and then how many agents you're up in, all that sort of stuff, right? So my whole point is...
I think they just make a mockery out of it.
If you've got... No, we make a mockery out of it because we're part of the industry and we see how many awards get handed out on a regular basis. And to be honest, some of them are amazing awards. Like I love watching the Elite Agent Awards when they were doing them, the REB Awards, the Women in Real Estate Awards. They're all amazing awards. The REIQ Awards, right? These are all awards that there's a hell of a lot of merit behind, and there's I'm a judge for the REIQ Awards.
Yeah.
I know the level of judging that goes into these awards, right? At the same time, I know there's a whole lot of bullshit awards out there as well, where it's almost like a participation award. And so
that you can claim that you got an award for.
My point on this is that selecting an agent, because let's get back to the topic of the C, which is how to choose your agent 2024. Choosing your agent just because they're the number 1 agent in Toowong is not necessarily, and I just realized who I threw under the bus. I randomly picked that suburb. Brett is an amazing agent. He's a market buyer. Brett Andresen's increwable.
Well, he has won a lot of legit awards.
Oh, he's multiple REIQ salesperson of the year award winner. He's one of Market Buyer's best. I didn't intend to throw him under the bus. It was just Toowong was the first thing that came to mind. But
the Toowong way to go about things.
It was the wrong way to go about. Just bad. But my point is, selecting an agent because they won an award is only as good as the award is.
Yeah.
Right? And if everyone's getting an award, then that award, it's like you need to dig deeper and see how many sales did they have to do? Did they actually do the majority of sales? Did they actually get, the best kind of numbers? And please understand, like, I'm not shitting on the awards that are out there in the industry. What I'm saying is don't pick an agent just based on the award. Go and have a look and actually check out what they had to do to win that award.
On realestate.com, you do have the ability of going and having a look to see what they've got listed currently, what they've sold as well.
Yeah.
So have a look. When was the last time that they sold something, even in your suburb? Because they may be fantastic at Toowong, but if you're living at Toowoomba,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like they're fantastic if that's where they're from, but just because they've got awards for there does not mean that they know your market. If you can see that they haven't
there'd
sold
be very,
anything.
very few agents who are going from Toowoomba to Toowong. But
no, but
I get what you're saying.
We did have one property that we were renting, and they were at Balmoral, and we were in the Redlands. Like, that's still, like, sure, it's Redlands, and Brisbane
that's not
but
even,
at the same time,
that's not even an issue for me as someone who's in the industry. That's just commonplace. I know officers that are in would be in Aspley and they're managing properties in Beenleigh.
No, I'm talking about the fact that it was a independent who had never sold in the area before, and I'm pretty sure that one of your comments was.
Oh no, he was in the city. He wasn't Balmoral. He was in the city, the one who was selling the rental. Yeah. No, but he got the listing because he was the brother of the owner.
Yeah. No, but there is agents who do that know someone that knows someone that has a property, and they're like, yep, I'll do it. But then what we say and what we tell our viewers is get someone local.
Yeah, look, get someone local.
They know. So if they're having a viewing and someone goes, oh, look, like what, how many parks are local? Instead of them jumping onto Google Maps and going, oh, look, there's a park just down the road.
But I'm sorry, that bit of information is irrelevant. Like, I get it. People might go, how many parks? What are the schools like? And yes, that's helpful. But you can, so as you just point out, you can search that stuff on Google. That's not actually the reason to get a local agent.
It's also because they know what your local market is.
That factors in a small part. You want to know the number one reason to get a local agent?
Tell me.
A local agent is dealing with more genuine buyers who are looking to purchase what you're trying to sell in that area. The local
when I say that they know your local market, that's obviously people that are in the market as well as
that is the number one reason that I'd be hiring a local agent.
Yeah.
Right? Is because they already have on their books, because of all the other properties that they'll be listing and selling.
Yeah, they've
if
already
they're
got
successful,
the interest there.
They've already
got the network.
The buyers there waiting.
Yeah.
Which that often leads to a speedier sale at a better price and less upheaval and hassle for you as the seller.
Yeah.
People often underestimate the impact of open homes and a marketing campaign and everything like that on their day-to-day lives. It's a mass. There's a reason why, like, maybe 4% of the Australian real estate market sell their property themselves, right? It's a hassle.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it's like just, I stubbed my toe kind of hassle. It's no, I broke both legs, both arms, and now I can't drink a nice whiskey kind of hassle. Like, there's no stress relief, no pain relief. I have known
cleaning ladies to have their own cleaning lady because they're just like, no.
Oh, absolutely. So, but yeah, that's why I'd hire a local agent. Like, yes, local market knowledge, vitally important, but more importantly, they're listing and selling in the area. They know what the property's worth. They know what it's going to sell for. So there's less chance you're going to be on the market for longer because they misprice or anything like that. But they're also dealing with buyers who are in that area.
Well, also, yeah. Well, when I say they're in they know the market, and what I mean there too is that they know people. They've probably got 10 people that they could potentially call up or send a message to or whatever and just go, look, this one's about to go to market, just thought I should let you know.
Exactly.
And whereas the person who doesn't isn't from that area.
They've got to rely on marketing, and that's always an extra cost, and bringing people through and so forth. Like but I mean, that's one aspect. There's so many other aspects to picking an agent in 2024. Like we've just shit all over awards. I didn't mean to shit all over awards. Please understand. That's like, I love awards. I love also awards nights, but go and look at what is actually behind the award, right? Yes, look at agents, and if you're looking at, say, 3 agents and they're all similar, but one's got the award, go and see why they've got the award. Because the reason they have the award might be the reason why you should choose them over the other 2.
Yeah.
Right?
And but the one thing that you can
don't just hire them just because they've got the award.
Yeah. No, you need to have a look at how they stage things.
Look, you know what?
How they actually, what the feedback is from sellers as to, do they have testimonials, like live actual ones from sellers who have, how many times have they used them?
You know what? I'm going to go against the grain here, and I know I'm pissing off a lot of people I know in the industry in this episode.
You're going to say don't look at testimonials?
What I'm going to say,
with a grain of salt?
What I'm going to say is go and look at the bad Google reviews.
Yes.
And I stress the Google reviews, because Google reviews are probably still the only true neutral facility for reviews. Google, anyone can go and review. Now, yes, there are issues, and I'll get to review bombing in a minute, but there are issues with it because anyone can go and review. But look at people who have bought and sold a house and what their positive and negative experience, particularly the negative, because people will review negatively for the most bullshit reason.
Yeah. This person turned up 10 minutes late, even though I did get a text message from them saying that they'll be 10 minutes late.
Like, for example, when I bought my 2010 Pajero, way back before I bought the new one, when I bought that, I was tossing up between the Pajero and the Toyota J120 Prado. Yeah. And
You've spoken about this
I've told us, but I haven't spoken about this on the podcast.
Yes, you have.
Oh, well, we're rehashing. A couple
of times.
We're going back through. It's all good.
Let's rehash of a rehash.
Let's rehash the hash. But what I did, I was looking at the 5 and 4 stars and stuff like that, and they're all the same. They're all glowing and everything. I wanted to know what the problems were. So I went and looked at the 1 and 2 stars, and the J120 was talking about, 150, 180,000 K, the engine blew up, or we had to replace the manifold.
We need to bring this back to real estate.
Looked at the Prado, the Pajero. The issues were the GPS doesn't work in remote areas, there's a bit of road noise from the tyres, stuff like that. All stuff that's minor. The reason I say look at the 1-star, 2-star reviews is if someone has a genuine problem, it'll be
listed a lot more than just once.
It'll be listed a lot more than once. You'll also get to see how they've handled it and how they've dealt with it, right? And you'll also get to see whether or not it's a legit issue. Like, for example, the Prado, there's road noise. Yeah, change your tyres. You put tyres on it that had more road noise. The Pajero, sorry. That was the issue. That's an easy fix.
Yeah.
You just get different tyres, right? Or you get a better wheel alignment or whatever. If it's a minor issue, then you know that agent just copped a bad review, unfortunately.
Yeah,
if it's an issue like
literally could have
this
woken
agent
up on the wrong side of the bed and was just like, you know what? I don't like real estate agents, so I'm just going to make it hard for
Exactly. Like, in that moment, my teenage daughter flipped me off, and so I was pissed off, and I wrote a terrible review.
The straw that broke the camel's back that day.
And so they went and wrote a terrible review. If it's something like didn't communicate, lied to us, and these are themes that start coming through in regular reviews, this is a giant-ass red flag.
You know what? The other thing that I would say to that is, yes, how they respond to it, right? If a person goes on the attack, where it's just like, well, you did this and you did that, and where it just turns into like days of our lives kind of thing, you have to look at it and go, hold on, there is so many better professional ways to actually deal with a disgruntled person, right? And yes, you will cop it straight from them, but how you actually handle that person, and especially online, Because screenshots, you can have that stuff deleted.
Oh.
But there'll be someone that's got screenshots. So
Always.
Yes. So
Always.
make sure that the way that it is handled, like if they get a negative review and they're like, thanks for the feedback. This is a bit of a backstory for you. Really, sorry that this has been your experience.
Here's how we'd like to make it up to you.
Exactly.
Acknowledge, resolve, redirect.
Exactly. Whereas if they're just constantly going on you did this and you did that, and it's just a to and fro, you're just like, not only like professionally, you are not giving yourself a really good, like that is not a good foot forward.
Yeah. I mean, I think under duress, you're always going to see someone's true colors come through. And when you're hiring an agent, I think that's super important. Go and look at what their bad reviews are.
Yeah.
Because
and how they've responded to them.
On Google in particular, but if you're looking on realestate.com, which has review capability, if you're looking on Rate My Agent, which has review capability, and you're not finding any, go and ask the agent for their bad reviews. You probably won't get some.
If they turn around and just go, oh, look, I've got them, and this is what they talk about. If they're honest with you and you can turn around and just go...
However, they're not going to send them to you. There is not an agent on the planet that I have ever come across that would send you their bad reviews. But how they respond to that question is going to tell you everything you need to know, right? Because everybody makes mistakes. Yeah. Right?
Because we're human.
And they may turn around and go, you know what? We don't actually have any bad reviews. Like, please understand, we do make mistakes.
They'll all
but
say
we
that,
address it.
Yeah.
And we address it then and there and overcome it, right? And again, it's that acknowledge, resolve, redirect.
Yeah.
And so that's always a good one.
Yeah.
Right? Look at how they respond to that question. And we've talked about this topic before, how to pick your agent in 2024.
Yeah.
And we
focused
on
2024 we haven't.
We focused on, look at your marketing and digital footprint and all this sort of stuff. Whereas here we're focusing on the actual person and their professionalism and that.
Well, yeah.
And I think, look, absolutely, you have to look at their marketing and judge their marketing.
Oh, and
their marketing must be good. Go and look at the other properties they've sold, ask for portfolio, look at what the results are.
So here's another way. You go and have a look. This is what I would personally do, just because of my own knowledge.
Well, actually, what would you do? Because you're now fairly skilled at doing a little bit of digital detective work.
What do you mean a little? One of my jobs was to go and find hotel rooms in order like for like with analysis of things.
No, I was.
So when it comes to this type of thing, I would be going, all right, how easy is it to find their contact details? What photos have they got up? And I know this sounds really bad, but what photos have they got up? Because there has been numerous times where nothing whatsoever. None.
What photos are we talking? Are we talking profile photos?
To actually see what they look like. Who they are. Because if I'm going to be talking to someone that's going to be the face of my property, I want to know who they are before they step in my door.
You've just opened up a whole can of discrimination worms.
No, I mean as though what their face is. So the name to the face, right? Now, what I'm saying here is I don't care what they actually look like. That's not what I'm saying here.
Then why is the photo important?
The photo is important because if they're using something that they used back in the 1990s, you can't tell me that they haven't aged.
So, all right. I'll now, rather than playing devil's advocate with you as I have been, I'll now jump to the psychology behind that, right? And that's where I wanted you to get to. The reason I wanted you to get to that is if the photo doesn't match the person... And
very pixelated as well. You'll just be going, where did you get this from?
Yeah,
and trust me,
from there
has been pictures
I get it. But what I'm trying to say is there is a break in trust. If their profile photo is 20 years older than what they are and they look completely differently...
Not older.
No, I meant as in the photo was taken 20 years ago. So, yes, they'd be younger in the photo. Yeah, I understand the confusion. But that creates a cognitive disconnect. Like, it's not what it says on the pack.
Yes.
Right? Which creates a break in trust.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is consistency with agents. Like they've got to be, if you're choosing an agent, you've got to feel trust, you've got to feel, confidence in them. So everything they're putting out, everything they're giving you must be consistent.
Yeah.
Right? Because if they're talking about, oh, look, we're going to do an amazing marketing campaign and everything like that, and they're going to turn around and say, oh, you're going to have to pay us $500 for the marketing campaign. Let me tell you right now, that's not the most amazing marketing campaign. Marketing costs money.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't cost $500. If you want to do it properly, it doesn't cost $500. Well, number one. Number two, if the photos they're showing you are taken on an iPhone, they're not wide angle, they're not capturing everything, they're not even digitally staged, yes. Right? Like using digital staging and things like that. And then, I'm sorry, but the marketing's not up. So there's inconsistency. The marketing's not up to scratch.
That's one thing that I was going to get to. Not just their profile picture, but if you go and have a look at how they are presenting,
how they're presenting properties,
not just one that they've got now. Like have a look as to what had sold previously, and so that you can ask them, like call them up and ask them, oh, how long was that one on market for?
You can get that data yourself. We've talked about the websites in previous episodes. You can search it up. You Google search. Google search the property.
Google search.
I said Google search, but Google search the property, and you will be able to pull up all that information, right? But one of the things I will point out, Queensland company, Box Brownie.
Yes.
I have spent a lot of time with the Box Brownie boys, traveled the world, or at least to the US and New Zealand, Australia, and that with various reps from Box Brownie. Shout out to Brad.
They've done stuff for us with Check
They've done stuff for us with CheckMy. Shout out to Shrav, who's no longer Box Brownie. He's now NAR Reach, but he was Box Brownie when I first met him. And these guys will touch up photos and take even an iPhone taken photo and turn it professional for $2 a photo. They will virtually stage photos for a few bucks a photo. I don't know if it's $3 or $4 or $5 or whatever, but they will virtually. So they'll take photos of an empty property and virtually put furniture in there so it looks correct and everything like that, and show virtual staging for a few bucks a property, right? And their work's incredible. The reason I bring them up is not to give them a spruik, because the only company we spruik is Check My House Price, right? But the reason I bring them up is that the existence of Box Brownie in 180 countries and doing millions of images.
Yeah, there is no need to have
excuse.
Phone photos.
There is no excuse for shit photography. Anymore. They've even got an app. There's a new app they just released called Snap, 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 or something to that effect, that allows agents and people to take photos on their phone, and it does the digital editing for them.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible. There is no excuse for shit property photos.
Well, it's not just that. So, yes, photos of the property as well. Absolutely. Have a look. What's their video like?
Oh, and that's the next one.
And then the next one from that is staging. Do they give you the option to stage? Because it is something that I can tell you right now, if you have a real estate agent who has that ability of offering that service as part of their package, and it is normally an add-on. It's not something that...
Well, normally you're hiring a third-party... You're either virtually staging or you're hiring a third-party staging company to actually stage the home.
But at the same time, have a look to see as to what it looks like. What have they done to get it to look like that? Like... some agents do have before and after photos where they can show you as to this is what it looked like beforehand, this is what it looks like afterwards. Like, the whole deal where you're going, okay, well, they're putting a lot of time and effort in order to make sure that my beautiful home is just next level stunning, as opposed to...
See, they're not doing it to make it look stunning. They're doing it
to create an emotion of the buyer that's coming in. That's what I'm saying. And when you're a buyer and you walk in,
I'm so proud of you right now.
Where they walk in and they're like, Jesus, like, I want this. And the amount of agents that I have where I've listened to their testimonials, where they've sat down with, previous buyers and sellers, where they're like, tell us about your experience. And
they're the best testimonials, not the what do you think of such and such, because they're always going to say, tell us about your experience. Because even though they're still going to be gushing because they're on camera and all the rest of it, and it's a staged environment, it's the things that they say because they're not actually going to lie. They're just going to highlight the things that they really liked.
Well,
and the things they really liked.
When you have someone who has sold, that's just like, look, it was so nice that I actually was wanting to keep a lot of the decor because what they had done to my house, it was like, well, I want to live here. Like, I like that look. So I want to take it with.
That's
so then
that emotional connection.
Exactly. And plus the fact of, going and seeing that, okay, this is a regular thing that they do, right? That they're putting in all of this effort to present someone's house, and you can see that they're selling them quickly. Now, they may not be
It's not just speed, but it's also the price.
Yeah, that's right. They may not be the top-notch, most awarded or anything, but they may be that one agent who is the quiet achiever, where they get in, they put in their all to ensure that their agent, I know exactly who you're thinking of right now. That their clients are looked after.
Yeah, you're thinking of Narelle.
That's her priority.
Absolutely, but
and there is a lot of agents out
there. There are a lot of
like
agents that are like that, and that focus on that. They don't want to be the best in terms of numbers.
Have the ones that they're taking the photos with their phones, and you're just couldn't have at least cleaned the lens.
There's no excuse for phone photography and bad photos anymore. Video is still expensive. Video is still relatively expensive. I get it as a marketing package, but video should be done because video is being engaged with more on social media platforms than any other format. Any other format, right? And if you're not putting video of your property, if you're not going with an agent who's going to do a video, if you're sitting there with an agent who's saying,
you don't need video.
You don't need video.
Pish posh is what I have to say.
I'm sorry, but that agent's living in 2010. And that's that. If you've got an agent who sits there and says you don't need property video, you don't need that agent. That agent is going to cost you $50,000.
I'm going to say something here that I do with the content, not just with CheckMy, but for our real estate, small businesses.
Yeah.
Meta has come out, so that is WhatsApp, Facebook, and Insta.
Yep.
Have come out and said, mobile is the leading path. People are going to be looking at things on their mobile.
Yep.
So therefore, Reels. Now, people listening, Reels go to everyone. You don't have to put money behind it. They can do a reel and they can put it up and it will work because it goes to everyone, not just a targeted audience, which is what your ads do, but reels go to everyone.
And I want to clarify this. You can actually pay to have that reel going in front of your target audience.
Absolutely.
The organic reach, which is what you're talking about, that's fantastic. But when we're running when a property campaign's being run,
they should be
we
doing
want
both.
It targeted and paid because we want to target and we want to control the audience it's going to. But it's vitally important with video.
And they should also be doing a video post on their page.
Yep.
And they should also be running ads.
So let me give a little bit of extra context to this on the video discussion. In 2017, I was invited to Facebook headquarters Asia Pacific, and I sat through a special unique, like there was 20 of us in the room, and we did a whole heap of training with Facebook.
Yes.
In 2017, so we're talking 7 years ago, they sat there and said, our biggest competitor over the next 10 years is YouTube. Now, they weren't aware of TikTok at that point.
No.
Right? And they said, we are competing with YouTube for eyeballs because video is the future. They told us then that they were tweaking their algorithms to prioritize video to the point of 3.5 times greater exposure and views organically than what you'd get with a static image.
Yes.
That was 2017. Since then, TikTok has risen, YouTube Shorts have risen, you've got Facebook and Instagram stories and Reels. So you have this competition with video for attention.
Yep.
And organics, like we're doing stuff intermittently on our personal profiles and we're getting 1,000, 2,000. I've dropped the stamp duty, one of the stamp duty Reels.
Yes.
5,600 views on TikTok organically. Now, that's not huge. It's not the million views that some people talk about and things like that, and some people get. But considering I drop one video on TikTok every 3 weeks if I'm lucky, like that's significant. So if you hit the right threads and veins and you get that organic reach and then you get the paid reach, the point is here that if you have an agent sitting there saying you don't need video to sell your property, you don't need that. That agent's going to cost you 50 grand.
It does not matter whether your property is worth $12,000 or whether it's worth
12 million.
12 million, right? If they're sitting there going, nah.
They are not a good marketer because
I am just going to go find someone else.
And look, the reason we're so adamant on this is, and I'm seeing this, and because
I'm doing my Facebook
you're
study
doing
myself
your Facebook
to get my,
you are, and
I've been looking after the
you'll
content.
join a very elite crew of Facebook certified professionals, but it's actually my market buy experience that I'm calling on with this, because in market buy, so market buy is digital offers, right? So we're seeing offers come in on properties, and we're seeing, like, we're able to go and backtrace and check the marketing and things like that. And the idea is the more eyeballs, the more attention you get for your property, the more interest you get, therefore the more competition you create, because there's the more buyers competing for the property.
Yeah.
That drives your end price up.
Yes.
Video, at just Facebook's admission.
Yes.
They are giving it 3.5 times more than static images.
Yes.
Just as a baseline. Now, in our experience, we're seeing 5-7 times more.
Yes.
Using it, right, than compared to static. So if the game was attention, and for every extra bit of attention you got, it increased the sale value of your house by $1,000. And I said to you, don't use this tool that increases the attention your property gets by 3.5 to 7 times. There's no way on God's green earth you would listen to me.
No.
Right? You'd fire me in a heartbeat. You just wouldn't hire me. And I think if you've got an agent go, oh, we don't need video. And this, by the way, this goes for regional areas as well as metropolitan. Because regional areas, you already have a smaller buyer pool. So you need every buyer you can possibly get, and video is the path.
Yeah.
Now, that's the algorithmic, boring, mathematical back-end side of things. Here's the front-end psychology and the marketing psychology.
People respond different to moving objects on their screens.
Yeah, well, okay, all right, let's deal with that one, the psychology behind that. Color and movement, in a very primitive psychological sense, for human beings means one of two things.
Yeah,
one,
danger or good.
Yeah, I'm either about to get eaten or I'm about to eat. It's either danger or food.
Yeah.
Right? Color and movement means danger and food. So if in this little device in the palm of our hands, as sophisticated as we think we are and civilized as we think we are, color and movement means danger or food, even in this device, in our primitive brain. That's how our brain still reacts to it.
Yeah.
So that's why video captures more attention.
Yeah. That's what you need to be. Like, I can tell you right now, the amount of times that I have done stuff where, campaigns that Norelle has done, where she's walking in with a platter of cheese and wine.
Cheese.
Right? I can tell you right now, people, and where it starts with that as well, people are like, ooh, one thing about Australians, we love real estate, whether we're buying or not.
You know what I don't get? We love real estate, we love wine. We need to pair the two together.
We do. But, so that's a side note.
Ooh, squirrel.
Yeah, exactly, because I also do stuff for them too.
Smidge.
Yeah, Smidge.
Smidge wines. We love Smidge. And Simbrauk.
So when there is, the teaming those two things together, whether they're liking the fact of I want to see what wine and cheese or what she got going on there, it'll either be the food or it'll also be, that pool
You're
is
seeing
actually...
a really literal connect. Like, I'm talking about it like the video could be anything. It doesn't have to be real estate. It doesn't have to be food. No. But the color and movement triggers that danger or dinner, right, in our minds and in our primitive reptilian brain.
The dinner thing is definitely there's food there. Yeah. What's going on?
So you're then leveraging that literally to get it further. I like it. But I mean, this is why you got to be using video, right? Because we're tapping into that primitive psychology. As advanced as we think we are, our brain is still working in a really primitive, there's a lion by the waterhole going to eat us kind of way.
As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to selling, right, when it comes to selling property, not only do you want the emotion of when they walk into your house that they're going, wow, this looks stunning. Like they've already got that. I want to be here. Yeah. Before they get to that stage, you want your agent to be walking through going, get a load of this joint. These are all the things that you should be looking at. Like, look how pretty it is. So that you get up and you go and you say, you know
I'm even going to say, that's not a deal breaker for me. If the agent's on the video or not, I don't care. What I want is video. Yeah, I want video. I want something that highlights and shows the property. I don't care if the agent's on screen or not. If I'm choosing my agent, I don't care if the agent's on screen or not.
Yeah, no, I don't care.
If I'm working for the agent as a social media person, I'm telling the agent to be on screen.
Oh, bloody oath.
Yeah, absolutely, because of the body language side of things. But in terms of selling my property,
I think there's been a miscommunication here. I wasn't saying that they shouldn't be on.
No. You were saying you were giving an example of them being on, and I'm saying that's not the only way to do it. And I'm not worried about whether they're as a seller. I'm not worried about whether they're on the video or not.
Oh, no,
what I'm worried about is that there is in fact video, and the property is looking absolutely schmick.
Yeah, because you want to actually heighten that interest where you're like, ooh, that looks pretty.
Well, getting back to that psychology.
Oh, okay, it's actually, and some of the best reels that I have done was that it wasn't, real estate agents going, hi, I'm from agency. No, there wasn't any of that to begin with. What I had actually done for them is I cut it from the video person. I cut it so that it was, what do they call it?
A fly through of the property?
It was retrograde, so I cut it so that it has this is what it looks like, but then this is what's inside, and then that's outside.
Before and after, no.
It's jumping between, jumping between things, so it's not like.
So it's quick movement, quick color.
Exactly, and it's still film, but it's not to the point where it's like one smooth motion kind of deal.
So one of the reasons this is important.
This is one thing that Facebook has actually said, that these types of cutting and pasting with reels, right?
Yep.
The algorithm loves it.
Yep.
What does that mean for you as a seller? It's the fact that the algorithm is taught that those types of things that are done within Facebook is more Facebook friendly, easier for the algorithm. The algorithm is a machine. If it's oiled well, it's just going to pump stuff out because it's easier.
Yeah.
So, and that's what you want. You want it to be in front of as many people as you possibly can.
And getting back to the psychology behind it, so to break down why this works and works so effectively, we talk about movement and color, right? Dinner, it's either I'm eating or I'm being eaten.
Yep. Mix the two together. That
gets them to the point to pay attention. If you've then got a well-staged property and a good video that is really tapping into the emotion, there's the right music, all that sort of stuff, and the property's really being shown to its best light, you've caught their attention with the tapping into that base psychology of movement and color, danger or dinner, and you are now that they're caught, you are tapping into the emotion of this is where you want to be.
Well,
this is where you want to live. This is the next stage in your life. And you're driving that emotion.
But it's not only the person. It's not okay. So when it comes to the reels, you may be getting in front of someone who's already got a house, but the algorithm doesn't know who they may share it with.
Well, so that's actually, the other thing I'm going to disagree with you. The algorithm is now so. You got to remember, Facebook's now got 20 years worth of data. They know who they're going to share it with. They know exactly who's going to share it. They know exactly who's going to like it. They know exactly who's going to comment.
Reels goes to everyone.
Yeah, so. I know, but they've got all the data,
yeah.
Right? And as much as Mum told us that we're all individuals and we're all special and everything, we're just data, and it's all predictable and replicable.
Just a whole heap of zeros and ones.
But in terms of getting those buyers to pay attention, getting those buyers to emotionally invest, we catch their attention with movement and color, danger or dinner. We then get them to envisage themselves living in the property through that beautiful staging, the beautiful video and the walkthroughs and the music, and really tap into those emotional centers. Because keep in mind, if you've done this right, they've just been heightened by the danger or dinner response.
Yeah.
So they're And this is how you get it, right? So bringing this right back to the topic, because we've just dived deep. Like, we have rabbited hold on this shit. And
you're welcome. You may have known something. Something you may not have.
This is the stuff that I teach in marketing. This is the stuff that you implement in marketing. You know, we've been working together for 5 years now on this sort of stuff.
This is what I tell people.
And this is what we tell agents.
There's been stuff that I've learned that I've told you, and you're like, yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the reasons behind when an agent sits there and goes, you should use video. This is why they're saying that. Yeah. You want them to explain, not all of everything we've just gone into. Like, I mean, the example, I'm a student of this shit. I dive into the psychology of it and everything like that.
But they're a real estate agent. They're not a Facebook marketer.
They need to be hiring someone. So their package should include someone to handle this stuff.
Yes.
And they should be able to sell it to you. And they should be able to go, video is going to get you more eyeballs, which is going to get you greater competition, which is going to result in a better sales price. And there is no better way to demonstrate that than a sales activity report. Now, a sales activity report, as far as I'm aware, only comes from a digital offer management platform where you can, and look, I'm always going to say market buys the winner there, right? And the reason being is that sales activity report can show when they say, hey, this is the campaign we ran for 123 Smith Street. This is the video we used. This is the static images we used. This is the campaign we ran, and so forth. And here's the result of the sale. Here's every offer that was made on the property from every different buyer. You see there were 28 offers from 10 different buyers. And this was the entry level. The first offer came in at 700,000. The final offer was 950. And that was because we were able to create competition through our marketing. And a lot of that's going to be video as well as everything else the agent does. So you want the agent to be able to demonstrate results, not just I sold that property.
No.
But how they sold it and how they got to that end result.
Yeah. Prove it to me.
Prove it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is so much more on this topic. Like, we've rabbit old hard and we've gone into the psychology of the marketing. Hopefully,
you went there. I was just talking about what they should be putting up on Facebook. Into Meta to actually get your stuff out.
You know what though? You know what? Like, I've stood in front of rooms with agents, and I've spoken to thousands of agents in the last 12 months, and I've stood in the room and talked about the three horsemen of the real estate apocalypse. I'm the best at marketing. I'm the best negotiator. I've got all the buyers. Right? These are the three things that every agent says at some point in their career. And every single one of them laughs, telling me every single one of them has used those at some point in their career. So the reason I went into the psychology, put them on the damn spot and make sure they know their shit.
Yeah. Do your research, first and foremost.
Yep.
Check out a few of them. Do your own little research about them before actually having them come in. And so that you can go, yep, I like that person and what they're doing currently. Nope, that person has nothing. Like, can't find. I'm surprised that they even say that they're a real estate agent.
You should compare them. Follow Chris Gilmore, All Properties Group, on social media, on Facebook. Follow Edward Smith. It is Smith, but he spells it with a Y, so I always say Smythe. But Edward Smith, so it's Smith RE, SMYTHRE, on social media. I'm just trying to think of a couple others. These guys set the tone with video.
Narelle does it.
Narelle Cordaro.
We've actually had her video
Griffith
guy come on too.
Yes, and he talked. I think that was episode 30. So go back and check. He talked a lot about the marketing and good marketing.
I can put the reel up because he was a bit famous. That went off. His video went off.
No surprise there. But Lynn Griffith and Rowan Banning, who were amazing apartments, they've just gone back to Remax. They're in Brisbane City. Check out how they operate as well. Look at these guys and how they market property. And look, I get we can't all hire these guys because we're not all in the same place that they're operating, right? But look at how they're operating and compare your agents in your area to them and pick the one that's the closest match. Yeah. Because those 3 or 4, but one of them's a husband-wife team, those 3 teams are absolutely dominating. Or 4, because we mentioned Narelle. Sorry, 4. I'm so sorry, Narelle.
Honestly.
I know, we even spoke to her today at length.
Look, she is not going to be happy with you.
I'm in trouble. I'm going to have to send some wine, some doggy biscuits, a whole lot. But
she got a new puppy.
I know.
a little Roddy.
Roddy, yeah. But like, even look at Henry Norell's doing what she's doing.
Yeah.
Because these guys are setting, they're literally doing exactly what we're saying an agent should be doing in this podcast. They are setting the example. Compare the agent to them. If you've got an agent in your area who is doing more or doing better than what they're doing, hire that agent.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Because the agents we've just named, so Chris Gilmore, Lynn Griffith and Rowan Banning, who work together, Norel Cordaro, Edward Smith, like, these agents are absolutely killing it. And the reason they're killing it is their marketing is beyond reproach.
Yeah.
They're absolutely dominating.
Yeah. They're doing well.
They are.
Keep on rocking, you superstars.
Yep, absolutely. All right.
And on that note, we will have to touch back on this particular topic because I feel that we have gone a little bit OTT.
Look.
But at the same time, there is. I feel that there should be a part 2 to this app because it is
when we can focus on the actual tools they should be using.
Yes.
As opposed to actually knowing what the hell they're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. All right. Hopefully this app's been of value to you.
Yeah.
And on that note, peace out.
Yep. Peace out.